another one.
Polite refusal to a counter offer when your current employer is making efforts to retain you. I'm currently resigning from my current job for better compensation, benefits, and career opportunities. My current employer is trying their best to stop me from resigning by trying to give me the same offer, to the point that even the vice president of our company is setting up a meeting with me just to present the offer. The problem is, it's taking so long for them to present the offer, and I'm about to sign the job offer of the new employer. I also feel that the new employer is much more stable than my current company, although I know I cannot say that to my current employer. Who cares? The base salary for the new employer is 50% more than my current salary. Jeez. So if it's 50% more, let's say you're making 100K, so it's like 150K. That would, yeah, what it should be. Part of me also wanted to try a new working environment, even though I didn't have any problems with my current working environment. It's just that I've been with the company long enough and I don't want to be stuck in a box, and I want to broaden my horizons. My question is how to politely refuse the counteroffer despite my current employer making such efforts to retain me. And they added an update. I made a mistake by telling them the name of my new employer, because now they're just trying to look at the job posting and trying to look for things that might discourage me from signing the offer, and told me in a subtle way that they are better. So that's a good question. That's a good question. And you're 100% right. Take the new offer. All right. So 5 minutes up. So, um, so how to politely refuse a counter offer? It's funny. I had to go through that at the job before, not my current job, but before the job before my last job, right? I was getting about 30K more for switching companies. And different benefits, but not that serious, right? They were like pretty much right, like they were right next to each other. So and they were like coming after me to like, hey, like, what if we do this? What if we do that? And here's the thing, I never told them how much more money that I was going to be getting, because one, I didn't think they would match it anyways, but it's kind of like very similar to the situation you're describing, because I didn't feel that they were like in the most stable position either. Which is funny because the other company, like the company that I ended up going to, they ended up closing, and that other company is still somewhat like they were sold off a few times, but still like there's the people are still working there, right? Um, but how do you like? You just have to be firm. There's an idea that you should never accept a counter offer. I don't know if I agree to that 100%. It depends on the situation. I do think that it sucks that in order to get to get a promotion or the actual like raise, like a real raise, you have to threaten to leave for them to make you that offer. To like, so it's like they show value to you. Like, so it's like they could have always afforded, right? They show value to you when you are on the brink of leaving, which I think that is a totally bad practice that companies do, because they put themselves in a bad spot. Of course, they can find somebody to replace you at some point, but they like I always say, hiring is super expensive, and if you are one of the top level employees, replacing you is very very hard, right? I don't think like I, I don't think that I'm replaceable. I think they can have somebody to come and do the job that I do, but they're not going to do it like I do it, and they're not going to have the passion and commitment that I have. So that's why it's always like hard, for like when I'm leaving a company and they're like, oh, they want you to stay and stuff like that. Um, but I mean, you just have to put your feet down. I remember when when I was leaving, I said that I was I ended up speaking to the VP of our department and the chief tech, not the chief. It was the chief architect, then the chief, the CTO, then the VP, no, not the VP, the president, right? Spoke to a bunch of people, and I was like, no, 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 and everything like that. And it's it's uncomfortable to do it, but you have to set it in your mind before you even hand in your letter, right? Before you even hand in your letter. Oh my God. All right, stop the show. Stop the show. Stop the show. We got Mr. Lot with a $20 super chat in the building. Says salute to you, Tech Coach Ralph. Shout out to the engineers and the soon to be engineers. What's up, Mr. Lot? I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so, so much. I love the work that you're doing too. I love the work that you're doing. Always trying to catch your videos, always trying to support. So thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate it. All right, all right. So let me finish answering the question. Like when we get these surprised, like, oh my goodness. But let me finish answering the question, and then we'll talk some more. All right. But yeah, like you just have to be set, because before you even write up your letter, you have to make your decision, right? Are you willing to accept the counter offer? If not, then unless they're offering you like 100% more, then we got to talk about that, right? But a lot of times when you're leaving, you're not leaving because of the money, right? Because like for me at least, I don't even look for jobs or apply for jobs unless there's like I actually have a reason that I'm leaving, and that's when I'm like, okay, let's I'm leaving because of this reason, so it's a crappy situation to be in. And here's the thing: if you feel that they're really bothering you and stuff like that, then you don't have to stay the whole 2 weeks, right? If you're putting a 2 week notice that you're going to be leaving, and like you feel like they're making you really, really uncomfortable, there's no law that says that you have to stay 2 weeks. Some people they put in a week notice, some people put in like some people just leave, right? They'll say like they put a 3-day notice. Just depends on the situation. It's because when they fire you or lay you off, a lot of times, like, I mean, some layoffs, they might give you like, it's a layoff because of company restructuring and stuff like that. So you might get like a month, or you might get a few weeks, and then you get laid off. But when they fire you and some layoffs, it's immediate, right? It's like that day of, you're gone, and they don't give you 2 weeks. They don't prep for that. So it's a courtesy that you give 2 weeks when you're leaving, to help them like wrap things up. But if they're making you uncomfortable, I don't think you have to sit there and take it. All right. So that's my thought on that. It's a great question. It's a really tough position to be in. It's super, super uncomfortable, because you say you're leaving, and then it's like all these people are chasing after you. Which it's cool because they show that they value you. But if you've made up your mind, and you have to like go and fight to leave, it's tough, right? So I definitely understand what you're coming from, and but you just have to be committed to it, and don't give too much detail. Just say that you're leaving, and you go from there, right? So let's wrap that one up.
If you enjoyed the fascinating information shared in this video and you want more, be sure to hit the subscribe button to Tech Coach Ralph to be notified for new videos.